They do now.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Um, sugar daddies.
Sugar daddies. Now, let me just say, I wish I had the strength and the confidence to be a sex worker. I, the power,
Them OnlyFans people be making
the
bank,
power.
bank.
I follow a few sex workers, men and women alike, and they're just seem to be having a great time. Obviously still having like crises, but they're living in nice houses.
With the crisis of not being able to get a normal job because everyone's seeing all of you.
No, I follow one. Should I say her name? I like her. She's a therapist too. Bachelor's degree. Yes. She graduated with her bachelor's.
She definitely goes to a therapist herself.
Yes,
Probably.
absolutely, as you should.
Most therapists do go to another therapist.
And she said if you go to a therapist and that therapist does not have a therapist, then you need to stop going to that therapist. That sounded like a joke, but it wasn't.
But like, if you go to a therapist who goes to another therapist, shouldn't you just go to that other therapist? But
No,
then you just have to climb the ladder until you find one who's like sane
there's
and normal.
no God therapist. There's no perfect therapist, but you need a therapist that is able to, I think, work through their own crap, and be able to have somebody to talk it out to, for sure. But
Just get a dog. Just talk to your dog.
no, because then you feel crazy. And then your dog can't lead you to steps to recovering from whatever crazy you're suffering from.
Or your dog doesn't talk back to you.
I ain't got no dog.
My dog talks back.
I ain't got no dog.
Have full conversations.
I talk to myself.
His eyes tell me everything. Well, that's just crazy.
No, because I give good advice to people, so I have to try and be objective, like Elmo. I used to be able to do voices, but that's something else.
Okay,
But
what were we talking?
sugar daddies.
So there was a friend at the restaurant who has a sugar daddy,
Yeah.
millionaire.
Ooh, don't talk about dominoes.
Picked up.
You don't know what this means.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
God.
Picked up the whole check. I was like, okay, I gotta go soon. So can you bring me my receipt? And he never brings it. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, he keeps walking by and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, don't worry. I paid the whole check already. I was like, what?
Heck yeah.
Like, I got that credit card from the man.
That black card, that thick old, that thing is like a little difficult to get through the card swipe. Like I've seen somebody do it.
I've never had the privilege to.
I've touched it.
Wow. I've touched it. Did your hand turn gold?
I wish I would have chopped that finger off so quick.
Chop it and sell it. Yeah, so
Midas touch.
I was like, wow. And I'm always trying to help. I can't get one.
You can.
I already have.
You can. You need to have an honest conversation and make it work.
But there's a guy who comes into work. Very attractive. Tall.
Yes.
Toned.
Yes.
Very nice gentleman.
He's a talker.
He is a talker, but he seems nice and friendly.
Yes.
And he loves talking to you. He owns all the dominoes in Mississippi.
How do you know that?
Or Missouri.
He did. Did he say that?
He has told us this before because his dad owned a bunch, and then he bought up more, and now they own all of them in Mississippi and Missouri.
Okay, so he's got money.
So he got money, and he likes talking to you already. So what are you doing? Go get that money.
Like I said at the very beginning of the sugar daddy conversation, I am not in the category of being enough ready enough.
But he doesn't have to be like a sugar daddy. I mean, he will
but
I
wouldn't even know. Like I just start to sweat. Okay, what am I supposed to do with that? What would you expect me to do aside from go to the back and fan off?
Because he's so high, he's just like, I guess I can't.
I can't talk, and
Well, that's the good thing. He does all the talking.
No, and I don't
he
like
likes
that.
To talk.
I don't like that. He talks too much. Okay, and also let's give some backstory. You started at our store like what, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, or something like that.
Yeah.
He's been coming to that store for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
4 years.
Yeah. And what are you
Time's a
waiting for?
ticking. Time's
You
a
could have
ticking.
been out.
He's about 30 plus years old. Okay, I'm not. I don't care about age, but he knows.
You're basically 30 plus mentally. It's the whole
but
point of the show.
but he should be able to. If he wants something, he should be able to ask for it. Like I'm very much like, just tell me, be honest, communicate with me.
He came in one day. You're walking out to the back. You see him. You instantly turned around. You were like, I'm out.
And I know he saw it. And I.
So now I have to try and set him up with someone else that we
Please
know
do.
so that we can get that money. Because, like, your 21st is my 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Your privilege becomes my
Yes.
privilege. Because I will feed off of you.
That is fine. That is fine. If I had it, we could eat together.
Yes. Yes. Pick
But
up my checks.
I'm a nervous person, and so that is not on my radar currently. But there are websites for that, you know. I would start at the
There are
feet.
websites.
I would start at the feet, y'all.
Like, how I feel like it's got to be a ratio for age to money. So, like, if you're 70, you got to have like $1 billion. If you're 30, a couple million will suffice.
Well, I feel like I'm not a greedy person. So,
I am.
a solid millionaire or six figures.
Million can go real fast depending on how you spend it.
That is true. But obviously the second category would be, are you dumb? And if you're not,
But you got
then
millions.
we're
How
on a
can
track.
you be dumb and have millions? I mean, you're probably smart in
There's
some.
so many people that are done with millions. There's so many.
They can be dumb in like
That's the legacy.
conversation.
Yeah. I mean, and also like, what are we gonna talk about? Because I used to think this all the time. I was like, I've had a lot of conversations with this friend. What are we gonna talk about now? And I don't know what the answer was. I don't know what the answer was, but you have to have like a certain level of like relatability,
Yeah.
And I don't know what he was talking about. He was talking about restaurants. I don't go out.
I don't know. All I heard is I own all the Domino's in Missouri. And I said, okay.
Yeah, I did. I do remember your reaction. You're like, oh.
Oh yeah, tell me more about yourself.
And here I was, just continuing to work. Also,
until he said that, didn't care about him at all.
Yeah, I recognize that.
I am a gold digger.
But also, I don't like getting trapped at work because
That's
9
fair
times
enough.
out of 10, I am stressed because of the amount of things that I have to do and trying to do them all and trying to wrangle these baristas.
Has anyone ever given you their phone number while you're working?
No. However, there was an older brown gentleman. Um, Imagine a big Mr. Monopoly.
Okay.
And he was like, "Oh, I like black girls," and I felt trapped. And he was like talking about his buddies and blowjobs and blah blah blah. And he's
My
like, "I don't do that.
goodness.
I don't talk like that." But they were talking about blowjobs and blah blah blah.
At work?
Yes, and it was when our old manager was there, and I felt trapped, and I didn't like that, and didn't appreciate it. But I was just like nodding along. It's like, haha, I don't like getting trapped at work.
I was like, sir, I gotta go.
Yeah, and obviously it was a fetish because he was only talking to the melanated queens, the job at that time. But I don't like it. I don't like getting trapped in any situation, honestly.
This guy gave me his phone number at work once, and it was so uncomfortable. I was like, what is this? Why are you handing me
Is this to the local cab company? Do you think I need a ride home?
And I was like, okay. And then I just threw it away.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm at work. Like, you're not making any effort
One,
to.
I'm at work, not the place.
Yeah,
That's not where I wanted.
This is
Two,
not my
I already got
mindset.
someone. I don't need to tell you that. I just throw
Period.
it away.
Period.
Sorry.
Yeah, not sorry.
Not really.
Get it together, y'all.
And then he'd come back in and try and talk to me and be like, nope, hiding in the back.
Who was it? Do I know them?
No. It was
Okay.
at another store.
Okay.
And then
I just think it's tone deaf because I don't know. Maybe that's the way that some people operate. Like they're like, oh,
it takes
I
a lot of confidence To
It
just
sure
shoot your shot
does.
like
Or
that.
just a lot of audacity. Um
It's a thin line. It's a
yeah,
very thin line.
it's a flip flop. But I just feel like you gotta know a person a little bit more, be friends. Also, those people, those men that'll be like, you want a friend? You don't need no friends? I just want to be a friend. What the heck? No.
I'm nice to a lot of people that come in, so
Yeah.
it does shoot me in the foot
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes. I
Where
mean,
they just want to
because you're
talk about.
welcoming, and I am welcoming in
It's all
small
fake though.
control.
It's all a facade.
I know,
I don't want to talk to these people.
but
There's
you
some people
know,
want to talk to, but most of them just like,
yeah.
"What's going on? How you doing?" Okay, that's it. Bye.
Lately, I've
Don't
just
talk to me.
unconsciously just been walking right out. Like I'm talking to the barista, yada yada, cleaning something, hear the door, say hello, and walk away. Walk away until the order is done or they're in the middle of it, so that I'm not, because I don't know, it feels a little bit like an extra pressure to just be performative. And uh 2020 taught me that I don't really care about all that.
At the end of the day, my friendly meter is zero. By the
Yeah.
time I get home, I'm like, "Don't talk to me. I've talked
Mm,
to enough people."
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's no refreshing that. There's
No,
no coming back
no,
from.
I need a full sleep and maybe
That's why
a
I don't
day off.
understand. Like, we have a few new partners at our store or whatever, and they're great. But I don't understand how you're gonna keep at that level, because the customer service voice where you're chipper, and you're just like all there. You can't. I can't do that for 7 hours. I can't do that for 8 hours, and I'm not gonna try. I need to be at a middle ground. I need to be. There's like dead middle ground, and there's being like super chipper, and it's a lot.
Can't do it.
You gotta sustain, and it burns you out too.
Did we ever finish Sugar Daddies? I don't care. That was
Sugar daddies, um,
yay or nay.
um, go get that money. Be safe. Be put your foot down. And boundaries are important if you're trying to get a sugar daddy. But if you are a sugar daddy, hello.